Your body hasn't felt safe in months, maybe years, and I know that sounds dramatic, but hear me out. That constant tension in your shoulders, the way your mind races the second you try to relax, how you're always waiting for the other shoe to drop. That's not anxiety, that's not stress, that's your nervous system stuck in survival mode. And here's what nobody tells you. You can't think your way out of this. You can't meditate it away, you can't journal through it because survival mode isn't happening in your head, it's happening in your body. Your nervous system is running a program that was supposed to keep you alive for a few minutes, but it's been running for months, maybe years. So if you've been wondering why everything feels harder than it should, why you're exhausted even when you're not doing anything, why you feel like you're constantly bracing for impact, this is why. And more importantly, this is how you reset it. Let's talk about what survival mode actually looks like in real life, because it's not what you think. It's not running from a bear or escaping a burning building. Nah, modern survival mode is way more subtle and way more devastating. It's your nervous system treating your morning commute like a life or death situation. It's your body flooding with stress hormones because your boss sent a vague email. It's lying awake at 2 a.m. replaying conversations from 3 years ago like they're happening right now. Your nervous system has two main modes, safety and survival. When you're in safety mode, your body can rest, digest, heal, create, connect. Your heart rate is steady, your breathing is deep, your mind is clear. But when you're in survival mode, everything shuts down except the systems that keep you alive. And here's the messed up part. Your nervous system can't tell the difference between a real threat and an imagined one. It can't distinguish between a lion chasing you and your brain catastrophizing about a text that hasn't been answered. To your nervous system, it's all the same, danger. So you end up living in this constant state of hypervigilance. Your muscles are always tense, ready to fight or run. Your breathing is shallow because you don't need deep breaths when you're about to die. Your digestion shuts down because who needs to process food when there's a threat? And the worst part? You start to think this is normal. You think everyone feels this way. You think this anxious, exhausted, on-edge feeling is just what adult life is supposed to feel like. But it's not. There was this study where they put rats in cages with electric floors. The rats that could predict when the shock was coming were fine. The ones that couldn't predict it, they developed stress-related illnesses even when the actual number of shocks was the same. That's us. That's modern life. Unpredictable stressors all day long, and your nervous system treating each one like it could kill you. Here's what's really happening. Your nervous system is stuck in a pattern, and patterns can be changed. But first, you need to understand why it got stuck in the first place. See, your nervous system learned to be hypervigilant for a reason. Maybe it was childhood stuff, walking on eggshells around volatile adults. Maybe it was trauma, something that actually was dangerous. Or maybe it was just the slow accumulation of 1,000 small stresses that never got properly processed. Whatever it was, your nervous system made a decision. We're not safe. We need to stay alert. We need to be ready. And that decision saved you. But now it's keeping you trapped. Because here's the thing about survival mode. It's not designed to be sustainable. It's an emergency protocol. It's like your nervous system pulling the fire alarm and then forgetting to turn it off. The alarm keeps blaring even though the fire was put out years ago, and when you're stuck in survival mode, everything becomes a threat. Your partner asking how your day was becomes an interrogation. A change in plans becomes a catastrophe. Silence becomes abandonment. Your nervous system is constantly scanning for danger, and when you're looking for threats, you'll find them everywhere. But here's what nobody talks about. Your nervous system isn't broken. It's not defective. It's doing exactly what it was designed to do. It's just operating from outdated information. It's like having a smoke detector that goes off every time you make toast. The detector isn't broken. It's detecting what it thinks is smoke, but the calibration is off. The sensitivity is set too high. That's your nervous system. The sensitivity is cranked up to 11, and it needs to be recalibrated. Let me get real specific about what's happening in your body right now if you're stuck in survival mode. Your sympathetic nervous system, that's your fight or flight response, is running the show. It's flooding your body with cortisol and adrenaline. Your heart rate is elevated, your blood pressure is up, your muscles are tense. Your parasympathetic nervous system, that's your rest and digest response, is basically offline. This is the system that's supposed to help you sleep, heal, process emotions, form memories, and feel connected to other people. But when you're in survival mode, your body literally doesn't have the resources for those things. All your energy is being diverted to keeping you alive in the face of threats that aren't actually there. This is why you can't sleep even when you're exhausted. This is why your digestion is a mess. This is why you feel disconnected from everyone around you. This is why your memory feels foggy. Your body is running a program that prioritizes immediate survival over everything else. And the longer you stay in this state, the more it becomes your baseline. your nervous system starts to think this is normal. It forgets what safety feels like. You know that feeling when you finally go on vacation and it takes 3 days just to start relaxing? That's your nervous system slowly coming out of survival mode. But then you go back to regular life and boom, right back into hypervigilance. It's like being stuck in a car with the accelerator pressed to the floor. You can't shift gears, you can't slow down, you can't turn off the engine. You're just burning through fuel at an unsustainable rate, wondering why you're so tired all the time. And here's the kicker. You can't think your way out of this. Your prefrontal cortex, the rational thinking part of your brain, is not in charge when you're in survival mode. The deeper, more primitive parts of your brain have taken over. They're not interested in logic or reason. They're only interested in keeping you alive. But here's where it gets hopeful. Your nervous system is incredibly adaptable. The same neuroplasticity that got you stuck can get you unstuck. But you have to work with your body, not against it. The first step is recognizing when you're in survival mode. And I'm not talking about the obvious times. I'm talking about the subtle times. The micro moments when your nervous system shifts into threat detection. It might be when you walk into a crowded room and suddenly feel on edge. It might be when someone doesn't text you back immediately and your mind starts spiraling. It might be when you hear footsteps behind you at night and your whole body tenses up. These are normal responses, but if they're happening constantly, if your baseline is hypervigilance, then your nervous system needs some help remembering what safety feels like. And this is where it gets interesting. You can't convince your nervous system that you're safe with thoughts. You have to show it with sensations. You have to give it evidence in a language it understands. Your nervous system speaks in the language of the body. Breath, movement, touch, sound. These are the tools that can actually create change. When you're in survival mode, your breathing becomes shallow and rapid. But when you consciously slow down your exhale, making it longer than your inhale, you're sending a direct signal to your vagus nerve that says, "We're safe now." When you're in survival mode, your muscles are contracted and ready for action. But when you consciously relax them, when you shake out the tension like animals do after escaping a predator, you're completing the stress cycle. When you're in survival mode, you're disconnected from your body. But when you place your hands on your heart, when you feel your feet on the ground, when you notice the temperature of the air on your skin, you're bringing your awareness back into the present moment. And here's what's wild. These aren't just feel-good techniques. This is biology, this is neuroscience. This is how your nervous system actually works. So how do you actually reset a nervous system that's been stuck in survival mode? It's not complicated, but it does require consistency. First, you need to create safety cues. Your nervous system is constantly scanning for signals of safety or threat. You need to give it more safety signals. This could be as simple as having a consistent morning routine. Your nervous system loves predictability. When it knows what's coming next, it can relax its vigilance. It could be creating a physical space that feels genuinely safe. Not just aesthetically pleasing, but nervous system safe. Soft lighting, comfortable textures, maybe some plants. Your environment is constantly communicating with your nervous system. Second, you need to practice nervous system regulation in real time. This means catching yourself when you start to dysregulate and having tools to bring yourself back. Box breathing. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. This literally activates your parasympathetic nervous system. Progressive muscle relaxation. Tense and then release each muscle group in your body. This helps discharge the muscular tension that accumulates in survival mode. Grounding techniques. Name 5 things you can see, 4 things you can hear, 3 things you can touch, 2 things you can smell, 1 thing you can taste. This brings you back into your body and into the present moment. Third, you need to build your window of tolerance. This is your nervous system's capacity to handle stress without going into survival mode. Think of it like building muscle. You don't go from lifting 5 pounds to lifting 50 pounds overnight. You gradually increase the weight. Same with your nervous system. You gradually expose it to manageable amounts of stress while staying connected to your body. Cold showers, breathwork, exercise, challenging conversations. These can all be ways to build nervous system resilience, as long as you're not overwhelming an already overwhelmed system. And fourth, and this is crucial, you need to learn to befriend your nervous system instead of fighting it. Your hypervigilance isn't the enemy. It's a part of you that's been working overtime to keep you safe. Thank it, acknowledge it, and then gently show it that the emergency is over. When your nervous system starts to remember what safety feels like, everything changes. Not overnight. This isn't some miracle cure, but gradually, consistently, profoundly. You start sleeping better because your body finally believes it's safe to be unconscious. You start digesting food properly because your body has energy for non-essential functions again. You start feeling more connected to people because you're not constantly scanning them for threats. Your mind becomes clearer because you're not burning through cognitive resources on hypervigilance. Your creativity comes back because creation requires a sense of safety. Your capacity for joy expands because joy is what's possible when you're not just trying to survive. And here's the beautiful part. Once you start operating from a regulated nervous system, you become a safe person for other people's nervous systems. Your calm becomes contagious. Your presence becomes healing. You stop being someone who's constantly bracing for impact and start being someone who can actually show up fully for life. Look, if you made it this far, your nervous system is already starting to shift. Just the act of understanding what's been happening in your body can begin the healing process. Drop one word in the comments that describes how your nervous system feels right now. Just one word. Sometimes naming it is the first step to changing it. And if you're ready to go deeper into understanding how your body and mind work together, I've got an ebook in the description that dives into more tools for nervous system regulation. It's not directly about what we talked about today, but it's got techniques that can support this work. Hit subscribe if this resonated, because we're going to keep exploring how to work with your body instead of against it. Your nervous system has been trying to protect you. Now let's teach it how to let you thrive. The reset starts now.